Alrighty guys, welcome to another coaster countdown! This time I'm doing the top 10 launched coasters that I've ridden. Now here's the thing with this one, this is of any roller coaster that does incorporate a launch, so you might see some odd coasters show up on this list, but they have a launch, so I'm just going to count them as launch coasters. You'll see that later, but basically these are coasters that accelerate, that do not include a lift hill, they just accelerate you. There's many different kinds of launches, like LAM launches, LSM launches, hydraulic launches, or so and so. But there's some really good launch coasters I've done, and today I am putting this into a top 10 list. Now I wanted to wait for this video because from the end of the summer of 2018, I still had not ridden Slinky Dog Dash at Disney's Hollywood Studios yet, which now I've ridden it, so I can now incorporate that into the list. So you'll see that show up on the list. So sorry if it's a little late, but today I'm going to present to you guys this list. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming at number 10 is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Now, you're thinking to yourself, but this isn't a launch coaster. Here's my thing with this one. Towards the end of the ride, it does kind of launch you a little bit. It's after that scene where, you have Voldemort, Bellatrix, Harry Potter, Ron, all battle each other in this lava cavey area. And then afterward, you launch through the mist into that dark section where you kind of spin a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of considering it a launch coaster. You can all give me criticism if you don't think it's a launch coaster. It's just my opinion, but this coaster is fun. It's not like the best coaster out there, but the experience is definitely where it's at. It has one of the best coaster experiences of any roller coaster I've done. Definitely immerses you into the Harry Potter world. And it's just a nice, solid family coaster. Whether you're young or old, the entire family is going to enjoy this. And coming at number 9 is the brand new Slinky Dog Dash at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I thought this coaster was good. Now, keep in mind, I was a little disappointed with this coaster. But it was really only during one of the sections, or it must have been from where I was sitting. I don't know if it applies to any of the other cars, but where I rode it, it was towards the middle of the car. It was the disappointing part was after that second launch, there was this airtime hill, which I was expecting there to be a little bit of air, but I got no air on it at all. There was definitely some airtime on this coaster, which I liked, and it was a little intense, not too intense because it's definitely a family coaster. But one thing I liked about this is how it is insanely smooth. I mean, it is brand new after all, and it's built by Mack Rides, so it's gonna be smooth. But I thought the theming was very well done as well. And it's just overall a nice, fun roller coaster. Definitely a good one for the entire family to enjoy. And the height restriction is pretty low. It's 38-inch height restriction, so this is a coaster for everyone. The kids are going to enjoy it, the adults are going to enjoy it, enthusiasts are going to be pleased by this coaster. It's just a good coaster for everyone. It's definitely a good coaster to start off if you're trying to get into bigger and badder coasters. Okay, coming at number 8 is Joker's Jinx at Six Flags America. Now, I was a little bit disappointed with this roller coaster, but I thought it was definitely a good ride. It wasn't anything outstanding, but I thought this coaster was nice and compact. It wasn't as forceful as I thought it would be, but the launch was just very loud, very exciting, and the spaghetti bowl section, that's really cool, and had some really good transitions, and the final corkscrew just caught me off guard. It's just a nice, solid ride. And I wish I could have ridden it a little more. I only rode it once. But I remember my ride being good. I remember it being pretty smooth, and yeah, it's just a nice, solid ride overall. So let's move on to number 7, which is going to Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios again. Look at that. Now, I will admit, the last time I rode Rock and Roller Coaster, I'll admit, I had a pretty rough ride on it. It was shaking my head quite a bit. But this coaster is still a very good ride. I love how one thing that this coaster has that Joker's Jinx doesn't have is that it has onboard audio. You're listening to Aerosmith during the coaster, which is so cool. I love that. Aerosmith is definitely one of my favorite rock bands. I mean, it would have been kind of better if it were Van Halen or maybe AC/DC. But I mean, Disney did what they did, and they did it perfectly. and it's just also has one of the best launches of any coaster. I know this is definitely a family coaster, but it is probably one of my favorite launches of all time. I just love just launching into the pitch black darkness while Aerosmith is blasting out your ears. It is so cool. And it also gets pretty intense during that first section. It does have a G-force of 5, which is quite a bit. But this ride is just a lot of fun. It's just a fun ride overall, and that pre-show is really exciting. And the theming is very well done as well. Definitely one of Disney's best roller coasters, despite the rough ride I had on it recently. Okay, coming out at number 6 is going to Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Studios Florida. Now this is another example of an odd placement, because some people, yes, most people would consider this a launch coaster because it has a launch lift hill and it uses LAM motors. So yes, some people would call it a launch coaster, but most people classify this as just an indoor coaster. But of all the indoor coasters I've done, this is definitely my favorite one. It's just so much fun. I mean, I love the special effects. I love all the fire, the mist, the scrab beetles, the army of warrior mummies, and just the whole ride is fun. The fake exit is kind of cheesy, I'll have to admit, but it's just such a fun ride. It is very smooth as well. Very compact during the coaster section. It does get decently forceful as well, so that's a plus. It's just such a fun ride overall. This coaster is just a very special ride, and I really enjoy this coaster. Alrighty guys, we have made it to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is going to for Bolton at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This launch coaster is so cool. This is a roller coaster that I've anticipated for 4 years. I wanted to ride this coaster since it first opened in April or May of 2012. But then I rode it in April of 2016, and I will admit, I had mixed opinions on this coaster. Most of me was impressed with the whole intensity. It was a lot more forceful than I anticipated, and I was really impressed with that free fall drop and the entire the Beg Bad Wolf section, and just the overall ride was fun. The only disappointing part I really have with this coaster is that it wasn't very smooth. But considering though it wasn't very smooth, it was still a fun ride for sure. Definitely one of the best family coasters I've experienced. And that free fall drop section, that just caught me off guard. I can't describe how incredible it was. And I actually, believe it or not, I almost blacked out on this coaster the first time I rode it because I did not expect it to be that forceful in the indoor section. I was expecting maybe just a little bit of a gray out, but I definitely grayed out and nearly blacked out. I am dead serious. It was very intense inside the indoor section. But I mean, the launches are fun, and it's just overall an awesome family coaster. Definitely one of the coasters that you just need to experience when you're at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And I definitely look forward to ride this coaster if I go back to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Okay, coming out at number 4 is going to Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens Tampa, which is, in my opinion, the best family coaster I've done. This coaster is so much fun. This coaster might not be very intense, might not be as intense as for Bolton, but one thing I love about Cheetah Hunt is how it's just such an insanely long ride. It feels like it's just never going to end. It's just incredible how long it is. And plus, I love how you're just flying through the Serengeti Plain, and you're swooping through rocks, waterfalls, and pathways. It is so cool. It's pretty smooth as well. I know one of my friends thinks it's the smoothest coaster he's done. And I'll admit, the most recent ride I had on it, which was in January, I'm no longer a Busch Gardens pass holder. The most recent ride I had on it on January, it was a little bit rattly. But, I mean, it's still a fun coaster. It might not be that intense, but it's just so much fun. This is definitely one of those coasters that you need to ride if you're in Busch Gardens Tampa. It is one of the best rides at Busch Gardens. Is it in my top 3 at Busch Gardens? No, but is it a fun ride? Of course it is. It is amazing. Okay, guys, coming in, now we're at the top 3. Number 3, you guys are going to give me a ton of criticism for this. I know. Just give me all the hate for number 3. I am so so sorry for putting this at number 3. A lot of people really hate this ride, but I really like this coaster. Coming in at number 3 is Tempesta at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And I honestly don't know how I really enjoy this coaster. Maybe it's because I was a little bit more GP then, and I didn't really know what my preferences were, so maybe if I ride Tempesta now, I probably won't find it to be as fun. But I also was a bit shorter then when I rode it, so maybe like the neck or ear bang will be a little worse because I'm a bit taller now than I was then. So I don't know. I mean, we are definitely getting a premiere ride Skyrocket 2 at Busch Gardens Tampa, which will be called Tigress, which I'm very excited. I'll definitely have to go back to Busch Gardens Tampa and check that out when it opens. But yeah, I think this coaster is a lot of fun. Now, this coaster is far shorter than Cheetah Hunt, definitely. But I thought this coaster was pretty intense and pretty compact. And I was really a big fan of the hang time you got on this. I rode this coaster twice, and both rides I had on it were just fun. It is just a cool ride overall. And I'll definitely be looking forward to ride more of these in the future. I know Six Flags Discovery Kingdom has one, which I don't have any plans to go to the West Coast. I'll try to get there one day. And then also there's one at SeaWorld San Diego, which is, again, in the West Coast. And then there's one at, I think, Lake Compounce called Phobia Fear or something. And I think it's in Lake Compounce. And yeah, these are just fun rides overall. I'm definitely a big fan of Premier Ride Skyrocket 2s. Now, the comfort collars, that's the thing that no one likes about Tempesta or Electric Eel or Tigress, whatever, blah, 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 is that these restraints will kind of like bang your ears a little bit. They're like a little more, they're more thin than something, they're not like big and bulky like standard B&M restraints. They're a little more thin, so it's not going to be like a painful kind of thing. And yes, I'll admit, I definitely felt a little pain in my ears, but to me, the pain wasn't bad at all. I don't know why I enjoyed it, but I just had a fun ride. When I focus on a coaster, I focus more on just the overall experience. Like, I focused more on the intensity on this coaster and just the overall like experience, not necessarily about the restraint pain or anything. That's what I look forward to when I ride a roller coaster, and that's why I love Skyrush so much. It was that I just didn't worry about the restraints. I just overall just enjoyed the intensity and airtime that Skyrush had, which we'll talk about that another time. But like, that's just something I just wanted to bring up. That when I ride a roller coaster, I just look forward to like the intensity, smoothness, like that kind of stuff, those kind of factors. So yeah, let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is a very iconic roller coaster. This is the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure. What a fun roller coaster. This is one of the most iconic roller coasters out there. This coaster is so much fun. I really love this coaster. But launch out of the tunnel, that is just really fun and exciting. I love how you just launch out of the tunnel. And that zero G roll is pretty awesome. And the inversions are amazing. Like the cool roll is good. And the inversions are forceful, it's fast, and it's very smooth too. If you've ridden the old Hulk, a lot of people said the old Hulk was probably the roughest B&M in existence. But if you haven't ridden the new version yet, you've only experienced the original, I think you would love this coaster. Because it is a very exciting ride. Plus, that onboard audio soundtrack is just really fun just to listen to on the ride. And it's just overall an exciting ride. The second half, I'll admit, is a little sluggish, but that first half is so kick butt. It is just flat out incredible. So yeah, definitely a big fan of the Incredible Hulk. And coming at number 1 should not be a surprise. I recently rode this coaster this summer at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and that has to go to Storm Runner. Oh my gosh, I was so surprised by how good Storm Runner was. This is an underrated roller coaster in some ways. I know a lot of people really like Storm Runner, but this thing is like 10 out of 10 worthy. Now, in my review, I didn't give it a 10 out. I give it a 9.5, but if it were a long ride, it would so be 10 out of 10. And call me crazy, if it were a longer ride, dare I say, it would probably be the best coaster at Hershey Park. I am dead serious. I was so impressed with Storm Runner. That acceleration was just insane. 0 to 72 miles per hour. That was just, and the way it accelerated was just unbelievable. And the top hat was so cool. And that snake dive, or deformed illuminum, whatever you want to call it, was really cool. And that flying snake roll was just crazy. Probably one of the best inversions on any coaster ever. Definitely up there with Kumba's Hell Roll. And yeah, the only problem with this coaster is that it is a short ride. But it's a short ride, but it is sweet. Like, it's just short but sweet. That is what I think about Stormrunner. It's a short ride, but very sweet. And it's just, there is no doubt in my mind that this is the best launch coaster out there so far. So, that will do it for this video. I know there are some coasters that did not make this list, like Top Thrill Dragster, Kingda Ka, Maverick, Full Throttle, and some of the other launch coasters out there, even Lightning Rod. You can put that on there too. But that's just because I haven't ridden them yet, so I can't judge them yet. So once I get to ride them, I'll be able to judge them as much as I want. And then if there's like any coasters that are bad, I can just start roasting them. You know what I mean. You know the whole shebang with coaster enthusiasts and stuff. So yeah, that will do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video. Comment down below. What's your favorite launch coaster that you've experienced? Do you agree with this list? Do you not agree with this list? I want to know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more videos and more content in the future. Also, don't forget to check out the social media link, which will be in the description below. I will see you guys next time. Have a theme-tacular day.